let's talk about like what is G-Research, like in terms of the software, and like how is that different from G-Research open source software? Are they like the same thing, or how does that work, Alex?
First of all, G-Research is not Google Research. It's an entirely separate company. It's a quantitative research firm based in London that essentially tries to predict movements in the markets and therefore make money on those movements of the markets. And the basis of the company is a whole bunch of very clever quants, mathematicians, trying to look for patterns in data that we're analyzing, and then if we find a signal, we'll figure out a way of making trades based on those signals. And so there's some mathematicians at the top, and then a lot of engineering to support those people, and then a lot of infrastructure engineering to support the people who are supporting the quants. And there's this huge pyramid of engineering that comes from this very simple premise of, can we find some signal in some data and make some trades smarter on it? And that's the company that we support in the open source world. And the way that the two, so that's G-Research, and then we have this team that we lovingly call GR-OSS, G-Research, OSS, open source software. And the two are linked because it turns out that to do the kinds of work that those clever mathematician quant people want to do, these days you have to rely almost entirely on open source tools. All the data science, machine learning tools of the day, by and large, are open source. And if our team of very smart people run into issues, we, the G-Research open source software team, are here to support them, either to fix issues, to create new, to add features to these things, to sometimes just be a sounding board to the engineering team in G-Research about what's right, what we're seeing out in the open source world, which direction to go, which library to use. All of these things are very, very valuable to G-Research, the company, and are the kinds of things that we, as the open source team, provide for it.
Yeah, and I'll note that the podcast, part of what we're going to be doing is bringing in different people from those disciplines to talk about like what they know and sort of how that share some of those stories from building out that infrastructure. So that's looking forward to that. So the actual like calling, like I know that G-Research open source software is GR-OSS. It's kind of there, but not a lot of companies or organizations would be willing to just embrace the acronym GR-OSS. So is there some type of story or background, or did you have to get permission from someone? Like, how did you sort of get this whimsical acronym through, to a financial services company's representative as a financial company's representative?
Well, I think we just started doing it. I don't think we asked for permission for anybody. We were looking for some cute acronym, and we were going through the OSGR, Oscar, could do that, or GR-OSS, meaning big. And all of a sudden I was like, no, we can do GR-OSS. That would be awesome. I think partly inspired by Calvin and Hobbes and sort of an impish delight in terrible things. Now, that acronym was for his Calvin clubhouse of boys and tigers. It was the get rid of slimy girls, which is not what we want to do here. That's not what we're doing. But Calvin was being an idiot in making that thing, and to some degree, I enjoy not being too terribly serious with what we're doing. We have to enjoy what we're doing, and part of that is kind of making fun of ourselves. We're doing very, very hard work a lot of the time. A lot of the work takes years to see through to the end, and you have to be able to do it with a smile on your face. This is just one tiny way that I enjoy what I do every day.